as the 49ers ran for 156 yards as a team to LA's 52 rushing yards. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford had 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown. And in their Rams debuts, wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. had 2 catches for 18 yards. Linebacker Von Miller, 3 tackles, 1 for a loss. San Francisco now 4-5 with the win. LA drops to 7-3 with the loss. In NBA games of note, the Mavericks beat the Nuggets 111-101 despite Nikola Jokic going for 35 points and 16 rebounds for Denver. DeMar DeRozan, 38 points for the Bulls. They beat the Lakers in LA 121-103. Suns top the Timberwolves 99-96. That's 9 straight wins now for Phoenix. And the Wizards, who have the top record in the East at 10-3, beat the Pelicans 105-100. I'm Eddie Garcia.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, an early break. Full show ahead. Rick Kaczynski, Robin Washut, and more. It is officially Creighton Hate Day. Nebraska-Creighton tonight at 6 p.m. If you're watching on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, you see me wearing a red polo. That's not just a coincidence. It's not at all. I'm not wearing a Nebraska shirt, but I am wearing a red shirt here. It is bright red. You can see it, Sip.
What is wrong with you?
I am here to don the proper colors today of the state.
And what is today?
Creighton Hate Day.
Is that's really that's good. We'd
Yep. That's
alienate a lot of our listeners off
they
the bat.
Understand. They
That's
know,
what we want to do. Is there anybody else you want to alienate?
They have been alienated since they listened to the show at all. They know my thoughts on Creighton. This is not anything new to listeners of the show. This is very common ground here.
Hate is a very strong word.
Well, it's Creighton Hate Day. That's what it is.
Okay.
Like next week's Iowa Hate Week. It's 2 straight weeks with hate in it.
Oh,
yeah.
That's where
Before we get to Thanksgiving. That evens the ground here. You know, hate, and Thanksgiving all makes it better.
Okay. We're not going to do the thing where we hate the Pilgrims or anything.
No, we don't hate the Pilgrims. Nope.
No.
How are you today? You're not wearing your red polo. Are you a Creighton fan or what? Are you?
I didn't know it was Creighton Hate Day, so I didn't dress accordingly.
It's a sad thing.
I didn't dress accordingly. We have a lot to talk about.
We do.
I did think, can I do this, please? Just get this off my chest.
This
Analogy that
go for it.
This American Made. The movie American Made.
Well, I've never seen it before. You've told me to watch it about 15 times. I have not watched it yet, so I'll go with you on this one, though.
I got new reader glasses yesterday at Family Dollar, and they're really bad. I can't hardly. It's almost worth not having them on. But I thought of a great analogy for Frost's situation. Somebody on the radio yesterday said, Sip, I've been reading your stuff a lot, and which is amazing that he said that. And then that he said, it doesn't sound like you have a lot of confidence that this Frost thing is going to work going forward. And I thought of the American Made movie with Tom Cruise, who plays Barry Seal, who was a former Jake. Maybe I could entice you a little bit. He was a former TWA pilot who flew missions for the CIA, became a drug smuggler for the Medellin cartel in the 80s. Okay, there's this one scene that reminded me of what Frost is trying to do here. Are you with me?
Yeah,
there was a scene. So Barry Seal, he landed his plane, this little, it was just a little like Cessna type plane, but he used it to haul drugs. And he would go into Central America and he'd fly into these little hidden landing strips, they're literally like grass runways, weeds, just a little strip. And on one of these, on one of these little strips, they loaded up his plane one time. You're only supposed to load it with so much poundage, but they wanted him to make this huge run, and they loaded his plane down. And he's like, fellas, I don't know if I can get this thing off the ground. See where I'm going? I don't know if Frost can get this thing off the ground. So anyway, they loaded it. I'm wondering if Frost can get this off the ground, like Barry Seal had to get that plane off the ground that was loaded down with drugs. And it was
compare this to a drug situation in Nebraska.
It was unbelievable. So they got this plane loaded up, and he's like, guys, I don't know if I can do this. And literally, these guys for the cartel, like, you got to understand, this is not an airport. It's like an airstrip, and they have these like picnic tables sitting out there, and they're all sitting there taking bets on whether he can get this plane over this line of trees, or if he'll just fly right into it because he can't get the plane off the ground or high enough to get over the trees. But he gets that thing cranked up, and he just barely gets it off the ground, gets it high enough, and it just grazes the trees, and off he goes. Now, will Frost be like Barry Seal? Will he get that plane? Look at Harrison over here. Will he get that plane off over that line of trees and then off into the air? And we're all like, okay, there he goes.
Do you have any more movies to compare to this situation?
Harrison, did that work? Yeah. Harrison said that worked perfect.
So if your assignment, listeners, is to watch American Made, to view this for yourself and say, is this Scott Frost situation at Nebraska?
I mean, we're all
minus the drugs.
We're all like those cartel members. We're taking bets right now, right? Is he going to get that thing off the ground or not? What do you think? Would you bet on it?
No.
Harrison, if you got to put money on it, those guys were betting. I mean, the cartel guys were betting whether he's getting off the ground or not. Some thought he wouldn't. It wasn't a matter of getting off the ground. It was a matter of getting high enough to get over the tree line. And he grazed the trees, but he got it. He got up. Can Frost get it off the ground and get going?
You want some people's thoughts on the analogy,
Yeah.
That one guy says, love you, Sipple, but that analogy was atrocious.
No, it wasn't. Harrison said it was good. What'd you think?
Faisal 5 times says, I thought Frost's plane was already in the air and headed towards the mountain.
I don't know.
Derek says the movie is more like Titanic right now.
You just had to follow along.
Yeah, I got you. I appreciate your efforts. Your attempt. Yeah, what does Cass say about
says,
that?
I'm wondering if the show will get off the ground today. We're off the ground, Cass. We cleared the tree line.
Cass, we are in the air right now.
Yeah, we cleared the tree line.
Off the runway and in the air.
Yeah, we're headed to Miami with a plane full of drugs. All right. We better get back on track.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that analogy.
Yeah.
The effort, at least.
Yeah, it really hit me last night.
The picture that you painted there for us.
It really hit me last night. Everybody should see that movie. It's incredible.
I'm just going to start watching movies and try to compare Nebraska to a scene in it or some sort of part of it and say, hey, I was watching this movie last night. So let me give me your thoughts on this analogy for Nebraska.
We're all taking notes, or we're all taking bets right now. We're all taking bets. We're like those cartel guys.
What Blanket says to wrap up your analogy. So Scott Frost is a drug mule. Trev Alberts runs a drug cartel, and the new hires are sitting around the picnic tables. This cannot possibly end badly at all. If that's your analogy.
I mean, I don't think you have to look at that as inappropriate. It's a movie. I'm not espousing the use of drugs or a cartel life or anything like that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to read the first topic that we're getting into. How about that? Sevion Morrison is no longer a Husker. That was interesting yesterday. Dante Williams might be back Saturday. That would be great. And Nebraska's playing for pride. That was definitely the theme.
That's pretty much the theme of yesterday, right? Of the press
It
conference.
was.
So, I mean, I don't think people
start with Sevion
Morrison. So when you have so much losing going on in the program and guys, 4 assistants gone, you're going to expect attrition on the offense or even any part of the team. But Sevion Morrison is the first guy to announce he's not he's going to answer the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think it was it was approached by fans saying, oh my gosh, the program is burning down. They understand this is going to happen, but I think there's going to always be a level of interest in him because of his high school accolades coming in. And he did show some signs of life here, but
he rushed 30 times for 116 yards. Not bad. 30 times.
Yeah, I said some life.
Yeah.
That's why I said some life, not a lot.
Yeah. This is like Scott had a good quote about it. I don't know if you have that. It's tail end. I have it. If you don't, it was at the tail end of the press conference, and somebody just asked him about Sevion, what his situation was. Because remember, against Purdue, the last guy in that game for Nebraska at the running back position was Marquise Stepp.
That's right.
And now there's a story behind that, but I don't think I'm going to get into it today. So yeah, I mean, he wasn't there for the Ohio State game, Sevion Morrison. It was, I think most people thought, okay, this is probably not good. It didn't smell quite right. Sevion Morrison wasn't there. Now, Scott said it was a family situation, but it still didn't smell that. It didn't smell right. Sevion Morrison, this is what Frost said. I like what Frost said. I think this makes sense. This is the way college football is going to be. We're going to lose some and we're going to get some back. That's just going to be the way it is every year. And of course it is. It's not just Nebraska. I hope people understand that. People are jumping into portals all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want this to, like, every time it happens, be some kind of referendum on the program. It doesn't have to be.
Like Steve Sarkisian yesterday said, we talked about this might be possible.
What did
he said he expect maybe 33 guys in the portal. He said it himself at the press conference.
He wants it to happen.
We might have 33 guys enter the portal. Like, that's a coach saying it to the media, not reporting what he's saying. That's him saying it himself.
Right. So
it's going to happen. Attrition.
Yeah, Sevion Morrison, as I said, 30 carries for 116. That's 3.9 yards a carry. He had 3 TDs. He sees the writing on the wall. He's in a young room. Gabe Irvin Jr. is going to come back. Ramir Johnson, you would think will be back. It sounds like Marquise Stepp will be back. Jaquez Yant probably will be back. And Scott even mentioned Marvin Scott.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about Marvin Scott.
Yeah, Marvin Scott. So, yeah, I mean, Sevion was fine.
You can't play that many running backs, though.
No. He saw the writing on the wall. And that's it. That's the story. Okay, Dante Williams. All Scott said was there's a chance he could be back, which would be helpful. I've said this before. It's kind of interesting. Dante Williams does not – he's good in the box. He can come down and make tackles, but he just makes it very clear. He likes playing teams like Ohio State where he's in pass coverage. He likes to cover. He wants to be an NFL player and he wants to cover. But again, he can tackle. He can come down in the box and tackle. I saw him after the Ohio State game and I sort of cringed, like, man, he's not close. I saw him walking into the tunnel and their limp was really noticeable. Now, then I saw him a couple days later and it wasn't that bad. So maybe he has progressed to the point where he can play. That would be welcome.
Yeah, it would. I mean, the pass defense has not been a problem. Like I said, it's going to be important to stop the run. He's going to be a part of that as well. But I feel like, the bigger loss this game for Nebraska is JoJo Domann. Even if Williams were to not play with injury, again, Frost says he's trending toward the right direction, but it's still going to be a big loss for Domann. I saw yesterday, Sip, that Todd McShay, ESPN draft guy, posted a nice video on Twitter of a play that Domann made against Ohio State. He says he believes JoJo Domann is a second or third round draft pick this year.
Whoa, really?
He says he's a possible day 2 pick.
Okay, now I'm going to illustrate why. You just got to give me a second. I'm going to tell you why.
That was from Todd McShay's own Twitter feed.
Okay, now I hope he's right.
He thinks he's a day 2 pick, which is second, third round.
I hope he's right, but I've been saying Nebraska doesn't have any first rounders and they don't have any second rounders, so I could be wrong on that. Man. Okay, now there's a quote I will read you that illustrates why that's the case. I'm going to get to it in 1 second. It's a really interesting quote, I thought, from Scott Frost. This is it. Okay, I got it. Okay, so they're talking about who replaces JoJo. And that means Isaac Gifford to a large extent, but not just Gifford. Isaac Gifford, of course, is a Lincoln Southeast graduate. This is what Parker wrote. While it remains to be seen just how Nebraska's defense will replace JoJo Domann over the final 2 games, there there appear to be a number of ways the Huskers will approach the situation. Now, listen to this. This is for JoJo's position.
Okay.
This is the quote from Scott Frost. We'll probably use multiple guys depending on what personnel group the other team is in. And it could change depending on what type of body we need in there. But there are several guys that are going to have to be ready to go. Okay.
That's for one guy.
I read that and thought, holy God, that is why JoJo is so valuable. Because you know what? They didn't need multiple guys. He stayed on the field all the time.
JoJo could cover. He had a great pick against Ohio State. He could stop the run.
Yep.
He's fast enough.
You could move him into the box.
He can make
He's physical enough, and he's physical enough to stop the run and fast enough to cover.
So Todd McShay said he shows the video of him getting that pick on the sideline against Ohio State late deep in Nebraska's territory.
Good ball.
He says this is still one of the best plays I've seen all season. Love the body control of Nebraska's JoJo Domann, both reacting to the route and keeping foot in bounds. Unfortunately, he suffered in a season-ending injury this game, but Domann had a great career and probably could land on day 2 of the NFL draft.
Man,
that's from Todd McShay, NFL draft expert yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, Frost says it'll literally take multiple guys, depending on what personnel group the other team is in, to replace JoJo. JoJo stayed on the field all the time. That's his value. Well, that's part of his value. He's explosive. He's got good ball skills. He can cover, and he can tackle in the box. He's got it all. And he loves the game of football, and he plays it that way. Okay, now what's the last thing?
Playing for pride.
Yeah, playing for pride.
Well, here's Martinez. Adrian Martinez was asked about how do you attack these last 2 weeks with all the uncertainty yesterday. Here's Adrian Martinez's answer to that question yesterday.
Well, it's about pride. It's about pride for us as players, and these games mean a whole lot to us. I mean, shoot, it's Wisconsin. It's a rivalry game. The same goes for the next week, Iowa. Those are big games for us, regardless of where we're at in the year. Those games will always mean something. So we're just as inspired, if you will, just as fired up to stick together to fight the odds and find a way to get some wins.
I would hope that these guys who've been here for many years and have not beaten the likes of Wisconsin or Iowa would just be motivated enough to say, I know we can't go to a bowl game, but I don't want to end my career going 0-for against both of these schools. Isn't that enough to motivate you? The fact you haven't beaten these teams yet at all? I think your time here?
I think that's not I don't think that's the question. I think the operative question is this is one of those things that's a matter of degrees. You have to try to match Wisconsin's intensity and motivation level. It's not, this conversation doesn't occur in a vacuum. There's an opponent. How are you going to match their motivation level? Because they are clearly going to be motivated. You would think anyway. I mean, I've seen teams that are playing for division titles that come out flat, which is bizarre. You see it though. But yeah, you wouldn't. Wisconsin doesn't look like they're in that mode right now. I watched them full game Saturday. Well, I watched it till it was 28-0. So I turned over to Penn State, Michigan in the third quarter. But man, they looked locked in hard, Wisconsin. So how hard is Nebraska going to push back? That's what it comes down to.
Well, yeah. Again, we talked about how this is going to be a team with 4 fill-in assistants on offense. How's it going to look? How's that picture going to look on offense against a very good elite defense allowing 211 yards per game?
Right.
That's not passing. That's total yards per game.
So there's factors in this. I mean, you still have a job to do. You mentioned pride. These guys want to finish out on a high note. And there's one other thing Luke Reimer mentioned. He said he basically said he wants to know how it feels to win a close game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why that would motivate those guys.
Well, they've
come up short. Do you think how do you think it'll feel for them if they lose by 3 again?
It's just
be guys pounding the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, come on. How close can we get before we actually get one of these wins?
Exactly.
If you're a player, I mean, you're good enough to hang in the game and be there at the end, but why can't it just go your direction one time?
Right.
In a big game, against a quality opponent.
So John Cook has said this many times. I've heard him say it many times. You have to do this too, Jake. I have to do it. And sometimes you don't have to do this every day, but maybe sometimes when you're feeling a lack of motivation, John Cook espouses this thought. You have to ask yourself why you do what you do. Why? The why is critical. Why do you get up every morning and do this? Why does it drive you? Why does it all matter? All the work, what's your why? That's what he asks his players. And you got to identify that. I do that sometimes. I'll just keep mine to myself, but Nebraska has to ask themselves that. And by the way, where we're just doing kind of a hodgepodge of things today, there is a stat that we have ignored that is an example of improvement that me and you have harped on in the past. And it is the Nebraska defense has improved this dramatically since 2018. Okay. And it is and my hat is off to Eric Chinander and those Luke Reimer, Nick Henrik, and JoJo, and all the guys, all of them, guys up front. They're allowing 3.7 yards per carry this year.
Okay.
Nebraska. Okay, now you'd say, okay, that's 8th in the Big Ten. Hip, hooray.
I'll take it still.
Right, hip, hooray. Well, first of all, it's really packed up in the Big Ten, and there's great defenses in the Big Ten.
We've seen that.
Right. Now, you compare this to 2017. Okay, they're at 3.7 yards per carry allowed this year. It was 5.7 in 2017. And down the stretch, it was 7 point something.
God.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
They've cut it in half basically since the end of the Riley tenure. Okay. And it's been kind of a build to this. Last year, Nebraska got it down to 4.2 yards per carry allowed. It was 4.8 in 2019. Not acceptable, right?
No.
4.8, not acceptable.
Not good enough, no.
And it was 5.0 in 2018.
Still bad.
5.7 in 2017.
That's terrible.
5.7 in 2017. 3.7 now. Okay? That's a hidden stat, and Luke Reimer had a great quote yesterday, and you can imagine why I like this. In discussing why Nebraska's made improvement, he said a lot of it's system related, that a lot of guys just know the system now and can play free, but he also said, he was asked, what's one other important trait that a defense must possess? You know what he said?
What's that?
Violence. Barry Seal violence. I mean,
bring it back to American made again.
He said, this is a quote from him. I mean, you have to be extremely violent. In the Big Ten, it starts with the defensive line and linebackers. He said it again. You just have to be extremely violent up front. Even if you're wrong on your assignment call, if you're violent, you're not going to be wrong. Well,
that's what people have wanted to hear for a long time here.
He has 96 tackles. That leads the team. He's hardly ever out of position. And he does play with violence.
Yeah.
It's football violence.
Well, you see a lot of guys out there, I think, play with some violence for Nebraska. It's not just him.
No.
It's you see it as a unit. And that we've begged for that. We've craved for a defense that flies to the ball. They gang tackle. They make big plays. And this defense has done that consistently this year.
Yep. So a big question I have going forward is we're talking a lot about Frost having to replace 4 offensive coaches. You know what another big job is? Keeping those defensive coaches around here.
Yeah, that's the big thing. That's what I keep saying. Everyone says, well, you fired 4 assistants on offense. There's no guarantee the defensive guys come back themselves.
No.
They're not fired. They're allowed to come back, but are they going to look for other jobs, other places, or are they going to stick around and see where this thing goes?
You hope they stay together, and that run stat helps illustrate why you hope they stay together, why you hope Barrett Ruud's back and Mike Dawson's back and Tony Tuioti.
Yeah, they're all important. I mean, this has been a problem for Nebraska since they entered the Big Ten, is stopping the run.
Not now.
No, right now it's the best it's been, right?
Yeah.
In the conference. Yeah. Even Bo's teams, they won games, but they struggled against the run.
They oftentimes did.
Wisconsin bludgeoned them on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not I mean, I'm going to curse the whole thing. I'm not that worried about Braylon Allen.
Oh boy, here we
I'm
go.
not
Here
that
we
worried.
go.
I'm not that worried. I mean, he's good. He's good. He's not great. And hey, come on, Nebraska. What did they do against good backs this year?
They shut down Travion Henderson. They shut down Kenneth Walker. Those are the two guys you talk about that are stars that did nothing against Nebraska.
Why would you go into this game thinking, oh, God, Braylon Allen's going to crush him? Why? Because it's happened before? No. I mean, not this year. I mean, those guys are – I'm going to tell you something right now. Those guys are better than Braylon Allen.
Okay.
All right. I've seen Braylon Allen 3 times. He's good, not great. He's good, not great. He'll be great.
We'll see how much the lack of Doman hurts this team.
Well, Joe, I mean, he's best outside the box.
But he's still a good tackler. He still stops the run. It's important.
It is.
Let's get a quick call from Vince in Napa Valley. Vince, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, fellas. How are you?
Vince, bring it.
Absolutely. Well, for one, I want to pick up on what you guys are talking about now, and also what you've talked about somewhat recently, Sip, in your column, and not only on the air, but to me, to your point earlier, Jake. Even though there's nothing to play for but pride, to me, these aren't just any other games. I mean, you're playing a team that you haven't beaten since 2012 in Wisconsin, and you haven't beaten, and you're playing a team that you haven't beaten since 2014. And Iowa, and I mean, they've not only beaten us, at times they've clowned us, not so much in the Frost era, but in previous eras. And to me, hopefully, you win one, maybe both of those games. Maybe it's the start of breaking a cycle, which to me is what this the theme of what this program needs more than anything, because, it's hard to break a cycle. But one thing that Scott has said at various times that I got to say I'm not too fond of is a lot of times he just says, well, we just need a break. We just need a break. Well, good teams create breaks.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just sit it's kind of like I told you guys earlier this season. You either feel pressure or you apply pressure. You do it by applying pressure.
Right. All right. You're right.
So that's where about the here and the now. But also, Sip, I want to pick up on something that you wrote about somewhat recently, and you've also talked about on the air. For one, I couldn't agree more that, to me, the bare minimum expectation going forward has to be, at least being in the hunt within the division, because because going into November, that is. Now, because if you win the division, and a lot of people like to slough it off like it's some nothing goal, but what people forget is if you win your division, a lot of other goals can line up, whether it's winning the conference, getting to a New Year's Six, maybe a BCS, maybe the playoffs, depending on how the year shakes out. But I'll tell you one thing right now, and I mean this for any one of our fans that are stuck in Neverland, is that to me these last 7 years should end absolutely any argument whatsoever that 9 wins ain't good enough.
Okay. I think I get what you're saying there. Repeat that, please. What do you?
I think these last 7 years ought to eliminate any argument that 9 wins ain't good.
Okay. All right. Why do you say that?
Well, seriously. I mean,
yeah, I hear you.
There's a lot there. In the old Big 8, we had anywhere from 4 to 6 throwaway wins a year.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you don't have that number of throwaway wins in the Big 10.
No, you sure don't.
Nope.
No, and the schedule is going to get tougher if we go into this alliance. And I got news for you, Vinny. Nebraska's not going to be playing Washington State if they go into the alliance. They're going to be playing USC. They're going to be playing Oregon because the TV people aren't matching Nebraska against bad teams. That brand almost, in some ways works against you trying to climb, but whatever.
Yes. Thank you, Vince, for the call. By the way,
good point by Vince, by the way.
Yes. By the way, later today you can join us at Barry's Bar and Grill. It is back open. DP will be there with Jay Foreman 3 to 6 p.m. as we preview the Nebraska Creighton game and more. Stop on by tonight at Barry's 3 to 6 with us. Up next is Rick Kaczynski on early break on the ticket. Last thing before break, guys, it's getting darker and colder outside every day. That means your time playing golf, tennis, whatever you do outside is getting limited, but you can always find things to do inside, including craft axe throwing in Lincoln. They're open 7 days a week from 4 to 9 p.m. on Monday through Thursday, from noon to 11 on Friday, Saturday, and from noon to 9 on Sunday. Parties and events are welcome anytime. For more information, call them at 402-802-9696 or go to craftaxethrowing.com. That's Craft Axe Throwing, 18th and N in Lincoln.
Hi, I'm Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and the NFL, I wore lots of protective gear to safeguard my health. I'm still protecting my health, as well as my family, friends, and community because I got my COVID vaccine. And now, even kids 5 years and older can be vaccinated. If you've been vaccinated, get your booster shot if you qualify. It's free, it's safe, and it protects all of us. Suit up against COVID. Find out more at healthylincoln.org.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We can make a run near record highs this afternoon. We'll top out at 74. South-southwest winds at 15 under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a cold front moving through. We'll see a low down to 42. And behind that front, only a high of 48 tomorrow with northwest winds gusting over 25. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Man, we sure could use an easy win this season.
I hear you. That's why I suggested to the wife that we go to Magical Lights of Seward, the area's largest and most entertaining drive-through Christmas light show.
So, by suggesting going to Magical Lights of Seward, you got a win?
Yeah, my wife said it was the best idea I'd had in a long time. The kids loved the dazzling light show, synced with traditional and modern Christmas music, and we had an affordable, fun family experience.
Get your win, too, by pre-ordering your tickets today at magicallightsofseward.com/ticket.
Allo knows businesses need reliable communication, both at the office and at home. Now more than ever. Just listen to Bill Mitchner from Lighthouse.
Before we'd have breaks in service, especially for internet, but we've never had any issues with Allo. It's always been there and available when we needed it.
At Allo, supporting your business is our business. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685 today.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. November's beers of the month are from Nebraska Brewing Company, Oscar Blues Dale's Pale Ale, and Avery Brewing. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
This is American Education Week, a good time to remember that caring teachers and involved parents make the difference in a child's learning. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the 28,000-member NSEA. Our teachers and education support professionals want every child to have a great public school. Together, children, parents, and our public schools are working to help students achieve and succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association on this station.
Join DP and Jay Foreman on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP goes one-on-one with Husker Online Sean Callahan and joins Jay from 4 to 6 to preview the Wisconsin game and more. It's this Wednesday at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill.
A new Planet Fitness location is coming soon. To celebrate, you can join before we open for just $1 down, $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
Planet Fitness Lincoln opening a third location soon, just east of 84th and Layton. Join now.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See Club for details.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Trying to get a hold of Kaz because somebody in this room, not me, distracted the producer, Harrison, and was talking NBA before he could call him.
The Washington Wizards are number one in the East.
That won't last.
They're having a year.
That won't last.
They're having a year.
The Heat aren't going to be right
The Heat
up
are
there.
good.
And they won last night
I'm
again.
with you. Did they?
Yeah, they beat the Thunder.
They're
As you
good.
do that.
I've watched the Heat twice.
By the way, Isaiah Roby, 4 points last night for the Thunder in the loss. Just Nebraska basketball. Plays tonight. I'm getting all the hoops talk I can get out there.
Okay, let's get Kaz going.
We're joined now by former Nebraska defensive line coach Rick Kaczynski. Kaz, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Nebraska plays Wisconsin this Saturday at 2:30 at Camp Randall. The Badgers in a 6-game win streak. Nebraska at 3-7, just trying to play with pride at the end of the year, as Martinez said yesterday, Adrian Martinez. I'm curious in this game. Wisconsin's a 10-point favorite, and they have a lot to play for compared to Nebraska's pride. Nebraska's played teams close all year long, Kaz. Do you expect that again on Saturday, or do you expect Wisconsin on a 6-game heater to maybe end that streak for Nebraska?
Well, good morning, guys. You know how I feel about the word close. You do or you don't.
Yep.
You know, I think both teams, when you talk about pride, when don't you play for pride? I mean, I don't understand that. You got 12 opportunities right there. You want to take advantage of them every week. You know, these guys are pretty much there about 11 months a year now. So you put all this work in. Pride is, you're representing Nebraska. You're a Division I football player. You have an obligation to the guys next to you in the locker room and the guys that came before you. So, to me, pride, what's pride? That's what you are. If you're playing this game on this level, you play with pride every week. I would not be worried about Wisconsin being motivated.
Yeah.
Nebraska's a good enough team. Guys watch tape. It's late in the season. Guys are banged up. It's a conference game, guys. I mean, there's a ton of parity in all leagues and all Power 5 across the country. So you better make sure that you show up. And Nebraska and Wisconsin, I think it's going to be a good battle. What I like about Wisconsin, I know Sip, you're not very high on that running back, but I'm high on I'm high on the offensive line. And what I like about this running back, he's always falling forward. This kid should be in high school. I think he's 16 and a half. I mean, he's a really, really good running back that's just starting to come on, starting to hit those holes. He's a one-cut guy. He sees it, and that dude gets vertical, and he's falling forward. And I think that's why Mertz has had a little bit more success throwing the football, because now all of a sudden you've got to defend that run. He's getting that. The offensive line and that running back is getting in those second and those second and 4 and 6 downs where it's either or downs. And as a D coordinator, man, what are you going to do? They can hand that ball off, get you to 3rd and 2, or they can, post dig you, take a shot downfield. And I think that's what's been helping Wisconsin's offense. But, I think both teams are going to get ready to go, guys. Let me tell you something. And I know I'm Saturdays, Sundays, wherever you play football, Friday nights, you're going to have guys that don't show up, no matter where you are, who you're playing, no matter what's on the line. That's just human nature. That's just football. So we'll see, but it's going to be a challenge, and I know Wisconsin knows that.
Rick Kaczynski joins us, former Nebraska defensive line coach. Ron Brown, I don't know if you knew this, he's coaching the running backs right now. They bumped him up after Ryan Held's departure. Nebraska parted ways with 4 assistants, including Ryan Held. What does Ron Brown bring to the equation? You're familiar with him.
Oh, Ron Brown's one of the best human beings I've ever met in my life. And just unbelievable coach. You look at his experience, you look at his demeanor. What I love about Ron is the same all the time. And, Ron drives you. Ron's one of those guys. There's nothing he hasn't seen. There's not a type of player that he hasn't coached. There is not a situation that he hasn't been in. And, quite frankly, that's part of the, I think that's a little bit what Nebraska's been missing. You don't have that elder statesman in the staff room. And I know,
right.
Ron's been there, but, what's your role? How much are you involved? I learned, you become successful by failure. And, I failed a lot at Iowa, but I had a guy like Norm Parker. Phil Parker learned from Norm Parker. We had that elder statesman in the room. We had a Bernie Wyatt who was on Hayden's staff, who was on Barry's staff, that, we have recruiting meetings. You want to talk about some pressure, Bernie Wyatt's in there. Who recruited that kid? Who you recruiting? We used to put those names up on the board, and who's recruited who, and who's recruited the guys that are there, and who's recruited the guys that aren't there, and then who's the guys that are bringing guys in on visits, all those types of things. So, when you have those elder statesmen in the room, I think it really helps you kind of mold yourself as a coach. And what those guys do, a guy like Ron Brown, they give you explanations on why you can't do something and why you can do something. So I think, Sip, Jake, it's going to be hard to get that full benefit from a guy in a week.
Yeah.
But, and let's be honest, Ron's been involved now for 4 years. But now he's coaching these guys. But these guys may run just a little bit harder being coached by Ron here the last couple weeks. But unbelievable coach, even more of unbelievable human, man. That's one of my favorite all-time human beings, all-time favorite coaches. I love Ron Brown.
Well, speaking of Ron Brown, Kaz, I mean, he's one of 4 interim assistant coaches in offense right now. These last 2 games, is it a foregone conclusion they'll go outside the program to hire 4 new guys? Is there any chance these guys can maybe earn a spot in the staff for next year in these next 2 games?
Absolutely. I mean, the guys that are coaching, they've been in the building. So, and people like familiarity. Right now, you can't worry about image. You can't worry about selling. You can't worry about the press conference on the new hires. Just like on signing day, you can't worry about the press conference. You got to worry about what these guys are 2, 3, 4 years into the program. And, same thing with coaches. You hire the best guys. You hire the best guys that you believe in. You sell the best guys, to the players and why you believe in them. Because right now your back's against the wall. You really can't worry about what anybody else thinks. So, you got to do what's best for you. And I guarantee that's the mode that Coach Frost is in right now. So if those are the best guys, in my opinion, who are you going to find better than Ron Brown as a running back coach, right?
Yeah.
But I think you just go down the line and say, okay, what do you have available? And what do we have in-house? And I think also too, a big part of that is what the players think. And, that's a big part of why I went from a graduate assistant at Iowa to a full-time coach. I'd like to think that the players that I was coaching on the scout team and, what I did there for a year and a half had something to do with me becoming a full-time coach. So, and just like a JoJo Doman, just like, Reimers, right?
Yeah, Luke Reimer.
God, there's always surprises, right? That's the great thing about football, man. There might be an interim position coach right now that 10 years may be a head coach somewhere. I mean, Sip, you and I've talked about Lance several times, over the years. Here's a guy that's at Wisconsin Whitewater, and now he's beaten or wherever, somewhere in Wisconsin. Now he's beaten Texas on national TV, right? So you just never know, So great coaches have to start somewhere. You might have some great coaches in the building, and you can't worry about what the press thinks. You can't worry about what the fans think right now. You got to do what's best for you in the program.
Hey, Kaz, I got a hard question, a key question though. How about those Hawkeyes?
Good Lord.
You watched the game. Did you watch the game?
God bless Phil. God bless Phil Park. It's just hard, man. Here's the thing. The thing about Iowa, why they win so many close games, because they just don't seem to put a lot of points up.
Right.
But hey, they stopped the boat from rowing, and culture, skill. I haven't caught any Coach Fleck's press conferences after his what's he had, about 3 consecutive losses now. His culture talk, the culture wars. But
the culture
heck, man, you got to give him credit. I mean, guys, once again, we talked about it. Winning conference games, winning 8, 9, 10 games is difficult. It is really, really hard. So yeah, I mean, you got to give them credit. I mean, you look at that, you look at the statistics, and on paper, you think that's a game that Minnesota should have won, but Iowa they do enough. They do what they need to do to get victory. So you gotta give them credit. But once again, you look at that staff. You got Kirk that's been there forever. You got Kenny O'Keefe who came back from the NFL. That 20. That guy's been at Iowa over 20 years now. I mean, you got guys there. Older guys. Phil Parker. You got guys in those rooms that have been there, done it, coached every kind of player, seen every type of thing off the field, on the field, in the locker room, in the classroom, in the meeting room. So, that stuff, you can't put a price tag on that.
I agree.
And it's critical. It's critical. But I think where it's critical, you got to bring those guys in on the front end.
Okay. And you got Brian Ferentz calling plays, and I know you're a big fan of Brian.
Hey, man. Whatever, hey, just no comment.
No commento.
He's got like 9 titles now, I think. But hey, they're winning football games.
They are winning.
Sitting in traffic, driving to work. So he's coaching ball, and I'm some slappy here.
No, you're
my
not.
son's 10-year-old baseball coach. So hey, what are you gonna do?
All right, Kaz.
Kaz,
good job.
Kaz,
today.
always great stuff. Thanks for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you. Guys.
Have a good
Rick
day.
Kaczynski, former Nebraska defensive line coach.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to ask him about Luke Reimer's comments about violence and how that works against the run. When you're stopping the run. Next time we'll do that.
Next time.
Yeah. Violent hands. It's a football thing. Violent hands. I mean, it's not like I don't notice it. If you watch those Big Ten games, watching Penn State and Michigan, that's a word that came to mind. It was violent.
Yeah, well, that game usually is violent.
It is really violent. I mean, Dotson, that Santana. Is it Santana Dotson?
Jahan Dotson.
Jahan Dotson. Who's Santana Dotson?
I don't know.
Okay, Jahan Dotson, that Penn State receiver.
Yeah.
They were going to him and going to him.
Dotson.
Yeah, they were going to him and going to him and going to him. And finally, he took a shot where you just wondered if he was ever going to get up at all. I mean, it was inevitable. He keeps going over the middle, keeps catching passes, keeps taking violent hits, kept going. Who's Santana Dotson?
Santana Dotson is a former NFL football player about your age. He's 51, so a couple years younger. Played for the Packers.
Okay, so there was a Santana Dotson.
Didn't do much, it looks like here. Sorry, he's a former defensive tackle in the NFL.
DT, all right.
Did he do anything?
I hope he's not.
He had 49 sacks. Yeah, good career. Okay.
I hope he's not Jahan's dad. Could be, I guess.
He had 49 sacks, 10 his first year, and then after that he was never
Santana Dotson.
Santana Dotson.
There you go.
Maybe it is his dad. Could be very well.
But anyway, that game was. I mean, all these Big Ten games they're brutal. Like I always say, I mean, it wouldn't be hard to be motivated during the off season. You got to keep your body in good shape because you got to get through that Big Ten season, which is brutal. I hate that word, but it's true.
Thanks again to Kaz for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Always appreciate that. When we come back, song of the day, and if you're going to Nebraska Creighton tonight, expect long lines.
Hold on, maybe.
Well, we'll give
come on.
We'll give you a scoop on what to expect then tonight.
Yeah, there might not be long lines, Jay.
Okay, well, we'll hear your side of the story next on Early Break on the Ticket.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels & Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations. Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. November's beers of the month are from Nebraska Brewing Company, Oscar Blues Dale's Pale Ale, and Avery Brewing. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
Join DP and Jay Foreman on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP goes one-on-one with Husker Online Sean Callahan and joins Jay from 4 to 6 to preview the Wisconsin game and more. It's this Wednesday at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hey, it's DP. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Friday at Wingstop, 29th and Pine Lake. Try all the delicious wings options as we preview Saturday's Wisconsin game and Friday night's basketball game. That's all this Friday from 3 to 6 at South Lincoln's Wingstop location, 29th and Pine Lake.
Allo Business customers get more than just fast, reliable connections. They get service and support to meet all their voice, data, and TV needs. Because supporting your business is our business. Allo delivers peace of mind with a 100% fiber network, hosted PBX solutions, redundancy protection, and best-in-class service to back it all up. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685. That's 402-480-6685.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Man, we sure could use an easy win this season.
I hear you. That's why I suggested to the wife that we go to Magical Lights of Seward, the area's largest and most entertaining drive-through Christmas light show.
So, by suggesting going to Magical Lights of Seward, you got a win?
Yeah, my wife said it was the best idea I'd had in a long time. The kids loved the dazzling light show, synced with traditional and modern Christmas music, and we had an affordable, fun family experience.
Get your win, too, by pre-ordering your tickets today at magicallightsofseward.com/ticket.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough,
never feel like an
if
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning?
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
Stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Song of the day, Cult of Personality by Living Color, 464-568-5. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day. Once again, your song of the day, Cult of Personality by Living Color, 464-568-5. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
I thought that was Lenny Kravitz.
No, it's not Lenny Kravitz.
That's not Lenny Kravitz.
Living Color.
I don't know because I don't need to know because it's a song I don't listen to. I'm not going to give you a horrible grade. There's not much creativity there. It's a little surprising. Song's really forgettable. I mean,
pretty popular song.
Comes
actually.
on.
Pretty popular song. I gotta disagree on that one. That's a pretty popular
it comes
song.
on the radio, and you're just like, okay, this just blends into the rest.
Does that one really blend in?
Yeah, the ether just goes up and nothing
okay.
poofs out.
Poofs out.
Yeah, that's a 4.8. 4.
Now the question is going to be Harrison, who is a tougher
4.8.
He's a tougher grader than you. Is he going to be above that or below? I got to think he's below it.
The people are going to like that. I will say
Yes,
that
they will.
They will. The people will like that. The listeners. That song just does nothing. Nothing.
Well, is Harrison above a 4.8
No,
or
it does
below
nothing
a 4.8?
for Harrison
Yeah.
either, because Harrison's got good taste in music. It does nothing for him. He is a 3.8.
Ooh, I was gonna go 3.6.
Okay.
So let's see. Whoa! Surprise. 6.2 solid, he says. We were both way off on that one.
Yeah.
Way off.
Okay, Harrison. I don't know. You can always kind of reassess that 6.2. All right, what are you hearing from the people?
A lot of responses I expected for that one.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll run through them real quick. Get a 9, 10, 5, 2.5. John Des Moines got a guess for him?
That's not him. That's a
You
4,
sure?
Yeah, 4.0.
That is all John. He likes that kind of music.
Does he?
Very cool song. Still holds up an 8.
Whoa. Okay, that's fine. We just differ.
8.5 from Jennifer. She doesn't know the song, but she liked it.
She never heard it.
Never
really.
heard
She
that
must
song.
Be younger. She must be younger.
7.8 from Brown Magic. 7.8 from Sanderson. Kent says 2.1, and
Kent gave it a 2.1.
Adam says 9. I don't know what Sip's thinking with his rating today, says Adam.
Yeah, this song's just a blend-in song, Jake.
Okay.
Yeah. Do better tomorrow.
Okay.
Bring,
I'll
bring
try.
something. Bring something.
Well, if Nebraska beats Creighton, you'll for sure have something tomorrow. Be a lot of pep in the step there. Song of the day and everything.
Yeah, let's talk about this game.
Oh,
Is that what we're doing
we'll
right
do
now?
that. We'll get.
I think it's a red flag if Nebraska doesn't win. That's what I think.
Nebraska, as of last night, Sip, is a 3-point favorite tonight.
Yeah,
against Creighton. 6 p.m. tip at PBA.
This is a real young Creighton team. I would say if Creighton is officially down, young and down. I mean, right now Creighton's 8 for 44 from deep, from 3-point land. That's 18.2%. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they have anybody to guard Bryce McGowan's. I've talked to people that follow this stuff closely. And the prevailing sentiment is this may be the worst Creighton team they've seen.
Wow. Well, it's also 2 games in.
Yeah. Kennesaw State, they have wins against Kennesaw State and Arkansas Pine Bluff.
That's
they
right.
scored 51 against Kennesaw State for the game, not half.
Well, they were 1 of 18 on threes in that game. I mean, every team's going to have a bad night shooting. Nebraska also has a loss to Western Illinois on their ledger this year so far.
Nebraska's not great either. I mean, these are not great teams right now. Now they might get good, but yeah, I mean,
Doc points out, I would not be surprised if Creighton wins solely because Nebraska cannot play defense or rebound.
Well, one of the keys, I'd say there's 2 keys as I assess it. They need to keep Creighton off the offensive glass. Creighton is rebounding well. They're out rebounding teams 46 to 36 on average. Keep them off the offensive glass. And then you know what it is. You know what the second one is. What's Creighton do? They run. You got to
fast break points.
Yeah, you got to control their transition game. I mean, keep them off the offensive glass and control their transition game.
Well, and that's something they're going to want to do. Greg McDermott knows, again, he has not coached many times against Hoiberg, just a couple times. He obviously owned Tim Miles when Miles was here, but he knows how to beat Nebraska typically. He knows how to beat these guys, and then I think that's why I give this slight advantage to McDermott, despite losing 5 starters from last season. I don't like that line at 3 for Nebraska. I've just these first 2 games have been really eye-opening for the wrong reason for Nebraska. Now, the second half against Sam Houston was much better.
You need to mention
the second half against Sam Houston was much better for Nebraska. That was their best half of basketball through 4 these first 2 games. But you got to carry that over to this game.
Yeah, and we'll see if they have an answer for Bryce McGowan's. I mean,
who has been lighting it up so far.
27 per game is what he's averaging, and he's getting to the line. That's the key. He's in 2 games, he shot 21 free throws. I mean, think about that. I mean, he's getting to the line 10 times a game.
Nebraska in general has been getting to the free throw line.
Yeah, and he's making his 17 for 21. That's 81%. This game is also largely about point guard play. It'll be big. Creighton does have a good freshman point guard, Ryan Nebhard. He's good. He's off to a good start. 13 points a game. He's shooting 55% from the field, 12 assists, 8 turnovers. He's one of their best players. He and Ryan Nebhart and Alex McConnell.
Yeah, he's the Duke transfer.
Yeah.
Duke, Alex O'Connell. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex O'Connell. And I wouldn't. Yeah. He's off to a good start too.
Well, and they're also going to try to get the ball down low to Kalkbrenner. He's a big guy who, again, we saw last year a little bit against Nebraska, but it's somebody who, is just a big dude. Can you stop him down below?
Mm-hmm. So you watch the point guard play. Alonzo Verge on Nebraska's sides has to probably get the ball out of his hands more. I mean, Verge, the ball sticks to him a little too much. So that's something to watch. By the way, McGowan and Verge have taken 67 shot attempts from the field over 2 games. That's 60% of the team's attempts.
Wow.
60% of the team's attempts. So you know where the ball is coming. You know who's shooting it. You know where it's shooting.
Well, you've also in those 2 games had a loss and a close win against an average school. So maybe the key is those guys are obviously very important to score, but you need help from the other guys. I mean, the bench needs to help out. If you're going to beat Creighton, you're going to have to be more than McGowan's and Verge. It's going to have to be some Tominaga threes off the bench. It's going to have to be, like Eduardo Andre played against Sam Houston. He played very well. Can you get a second performance like that from Ed Andre?
Yep.
Down low.
Yeah, Andre's big.
You got to get rebounds. You got to get second chance points, offensive rebounds as well.
Ed Andre, his energy is critical. He'll bring energy. I bet the crowd will react really well to Eduardo Andre.
Well, I think they will. Again, 6 p.m. tonight. Did you hear anything about the concessions lines at all yesterday? As I told you, the first game of the season, I was at the Western Illinois basketball game where Nebraska lost by 1.
Okay, yeah.
And the lines were there's like one concession stand open in the 200 level, and the lines were long also in the ground level.
Yeah, and I heard from a PBA official, I'll just say that, a Pinnacle Bank Arena. Well, Tom Lorenz, the general manager. Tom Lorenz, I've known for going back to the Pershing days. He's a great guy. Yeah, and they've had some. Here's the deal. They've continued. He wrote an email to me yesterday. Tom did, because he heard your rant.
Listen, I had to let the people know.
I got it.
It wasn't even that long of a rant.
No, it wasn't. You were fine. They've continued to slowly find new concession workers. During COVID, Jake, they lost PBA, like a lot of places, lost hundreds of concession workers and volunteer groups. I mean, like everyone, I'm pretty much reading the email, like everyone in food service in Lincoln and across the country, they're struggling to find part-time help. Do you understand that? Do you understand what I'm saying here?
You got it.
Yeah, they're having trouble finding concession workers. There's fast food places that are closing down, not because of lack of business, because they can't find workers. I mean, it's an incredible time in America.
I understand that.
But yeah, he said we definitely didn't make a choice to not open stands. It's not their choice. They're doing as much as they possibly can. They've created incentives to find workers. They've adapted the menu to allow for faster purchasing. They've created a beverage only line for fans who just wanted a bottle of water. They strategize and plan for each game, he said. But it's a challenge because they just can't find the workers, which is happening all over the place.
So
right?
will it get better tonight for the Creighton game?
I just don't think there's going to be a bunch of people that just materialize out of nowhere to say, yeah, here I am to help. I mean, we'll see what kind. I think he thinks it will be better tonight.
Okay. Well, I'm done. I would just say, if you're out there,
but you understand what I just told you?
I fully get it. Okay. I get it. But just
do you feel a degree of sympathy?
Yeah, but also that was a long line that ran out of food. They ran out of food
before you go to the game.
Well, I will tonight.
Yeah,
I would encourage that if you're out there as well, and if you need a snack.
Well, I don't want to encourage that because I don't want to take away from the revenue, but worried about it and you're not patient enough. I mean, you watch everything on your phone anyway. Just go to the concession stand and watch your phone.
Yeah, you're a millennial. You're at the game too. You don't need to watch it live. Just watch it on your screen like you always do.
Yeah.
When we come back, there is some breaking news in the world of college football. One coach is out of a job. Add it to the dominoes. Who is it? Tell you next on Early Break in the Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We can make a run near record highs this afternoon. We'll top out at 74. South-southwest winds at 15 under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a cold front moving through. We'll see a low down to 42. And behind that front, only a high of 48 tomorrow with northwest winds gusting over 25. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket. The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
Allo Business customers get more than just fast, reliable connections. They get service and support to meet all their voice, data, and TV needs. Because supporting your business is our business. Allo delivers peace of mind with a 100% fiber network, hosted PBX solutions, redundancy protection, and best-in-class service to back it all up. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685. That's 402-480-6685.
You could celebrate a Nebraska football win with chips or wings and your favorite beverage, but Beatrice Bakery has all sorts of cakes to celebrate all victories this fall. Coffee cake, breakfast bread, artisan cakes, and especially Grandma's fruit cake. No one remembers who brought the chips, but everyone remembers who brought the cake. Make your parties memorable and your Mondays at the office better with cakes from Beatrice Bakery. They ship nationwide. Check out BeatriceBakery.com, proud sponsors of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. Welcome to our world of yum.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and now I'm protecting it with the COVID vaccine. Everyone, even kids 5 years and older, can get the vaccine too. If you've been vaccinated, now you can get your booster shot if you qualify. Stay strong, get vaccinated, and learn more at healthylincoln.org.
Lincoln's mega liquidation store is here. Wholesale Logistics is now open on West O Street as a bin store with tons of liquidation pallets, appliances, mattresses, furniture, and more. Brand new mattresses 30 to 60% off retail with well-known brands. New furniture also 30 to 60% off retail value. Brand new LG scratch and dent appliances 35 to 40% off retail. Wholesale Logistics purchases truckloads of smaller items from major retailers and throws them into bins, with everything starting at just $8. Get to Wholesale Logistics, open each Friday to Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at 2811 West O Street.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of
Meh. And the Lincoln Journal stars Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Tuesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, the Early Break. Fun show so far. You got the podcast at theticketfm.com. Thanks to Rick Kaczynski, as always, for joining us. You can watch the show on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Call or text us at 464-5685. And the show is sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Quick random quiz for you. We play the game show later. At,
yes, next segment, 7:40.
Shut up, Sipple. And you ask me rando questions. Here's a rando one for you. Where's Shaka Smart coaching now? Come on.
Well, I should know
that. Come on.
Okay,
come on. Now you're on the spot.
I know he's not at Texas.
Now you're on the
he's
spot.
He's not at
Jacob.
Texas anymore.
Nope. Where's
He's
Shaka?
he's the head coach?
Yeah, where's Shaka?
Oh,
gotcha.
No. He's at Marquette, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Boom. How about that?
Yeah, I don't think you got it in 5 seconds.
Yeah, I did. Oh, that was easily in 5 seconds because 5 seconds like after I give you 10 seconds, and I start giving you a countdown. So I got that easily within 15 seconds.
Got it. I think they lost to Illinois last night, and the big man for Illinois didn't play.
No, Illinois, I believe, lost.
Oh, they did?
last night.
Hold on.
Yeah, Illinois.
Well, I was
sure
watching
lost
it.
last night.
Well, I was watching it. You look that up, and while I was watching it at the place I was, I'm gonna tell that quick story.
Yeah, Marquette won last night, 67-66 over Illinois.
They came back and win.
The Illini are 2-2, and Marquette is 4-0.
Big man didn't play for Illinois.
Kofi Coburn?
Yeah. If he played, I didn't see him.
Sounds like Andre Curbelo had a bad turnover to end the game.
Oh, man. I kept telling my grandson, Alex, how good that guy is. I'm glad we didn't see that.
So, congratulations. Good start for Shaka Smart at Marquette.
Won't say where I was, but a very curious development where I was yesterday. I like going to this place and getting a BLT and a red beer. And I don't even open the menu, and the guy came over and asked for our order, and I said, I'll have a BLT. I couldn't even get it out of my mouth. He said, we had a bunch of cooks walk out, and we don't have BLTs anymore. And Alex ordered a bacon cheeseburger, which they had a bacon cheeseburger.
I don't understand that. You don't have lettuce and tomato or what?
I don't know. They just took it off the menu. They took the BLT off the menu because they had a bunch of cooks walk out.
Doesn't a bacon cheeseburger sometimes have lettuce and tomato on it also?
I don't know. I don't know about the tomato. For sure. Maybe, lettuce. Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes
lettuce.
tomato.
Yeah.
So this is about the tomato basically then.
I don't know what's it about.
Yeah, tortilla doesn't take that much to wrap,
I mean, I don't know what it's about. Like maybe about the bread.
Might be that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like maybe they just don't want to have sourdough bread around. I don't know. I was startled by it.
So you ordered what instead?
I got a hot beef sandwich. It was pretty good, but it wasn't a BLT.
It's not what you wanted, though.
No. I won't need to say who.
It's the BLT that
don't need
got
to
away.
say where it is. And it's not like you give it away because I'm guessing cooks are walking out all over the place.
Yeah, probably true.
People are having trouble hiring. So that's that.
By the way, Kofi Coburn's suspended. That's why
suspended.
Yeah.
Does it say for what? We got to get to this coaching matter. But what does it? Why is he suspended, Coburn?
3 games. Let's see. It was for selling apparel memorabilia. That's why.
Selling apparel memorabilia?
Yep.
I didn't know there was a scandal in Illinois.
This was before NIL took place, so that's why.
Okay.
It goes back then. So 3 games. He's suspended the first 3 games, so he should be back soon.
Huh. Okay.
Breaking news happened
news
at the end of the 6 o'clock hour. There is a coach that has been officially fired, SIP, in a Power 5 conference.
Hello.
Added to the list. Virginia Tech has fired Justin Fuente, the one-time ACC Coach of the Year, his first year there in 2016. His record with the Hokies, SIP, 43-31, including 28-20 in conference play. Has been there for just shy of 6 years now. Justin Fuente.
The last 4 haven't been great.
The last 4, he was 6-7,
18,
8 and 5 in 2019. That's respectable. 5-6 last year, the COVID year, and so far 5-5 this year.
That's it for Justin Fuente. So add
Justin Fuente is out at Virginia Tech.
Add Virginia Tech to the list, along with LSU will open.
Yep.
USC open. Washington open. Now Washington State open. You wonder about Florida.
Right.
You wonder about Miami. Is there anybody else you wonder about?
I was looking at some records in the Pac-12. You mentioned USC, of course. That's on the list. They're not as attractive of jobs, but I think California might open up.
Is that right?
Justin Wilcox has just not been getting it done out there.
Yeah.
I think they're 3-7.
Okay.
Stanford is 3-7.
They're not letting that guy go.
David Shaw, they've been so average for so long. His run, he was good in the late 2000s, early 2010s, right?
Yeah, I don't think they'll let him go.
They've been so subpar for many years now. Probably won't fire him, but they're 3-7 this year, so they're not going the right direction. So that's the Pac-12. You mentioned Washington State, of course, is a they have an opening because Rolovich got fired midseason for not taking the COVID vaccine, basically.
Yeah.
And that's it right now. Scott Frost, of course, is staying at Nebraska. In the Big Ten, Mike Locksley, is he in trouble though? They're 5-5. I think he's probably back next year.
Yeah, I don't think he's in trouble.
I don't think you'll see anybody fired in the Big Ten Conference this year.
No, you wonder about Franklin. James Franklin.
Well, he's not going to get fired. He might go somewhere else.
leave.
And Mel Tucker maybe go somewhere else. Although I saw some rumors he might get signed a contract extension at Michigan State.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yes, per Colin Coward last week, he had a rumor there.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that right?
Yes, he said he's hearing that he's signing a long contract at Michigan State.
Huh.
But that's as of last week. Things change, of course, especially with that guy, Mel Tucker, of all people.
Yeah, so I wonder where LSU would go. I wonder where LSU would go with that job if it's not Tucker. I thought Tucker just made so much sense at LSU with his SEC background. Maybe not.
And you believe Florida State is going to stick with Mike Norvell?
Yes.
I think Miami might open up, though.
Right.
Miami yesterday fired their AD, Blake James. Is that the name, right?
I don't know what his name is.
Well,
it might be a her for all I know. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. But Blake James, the Miami AD is out. So that would mean Manny Diaz, the head coach, is not exactly safe right now. He's still coaching this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, I don't have any idea what that dynamic's all about. But I think Norvell, according to my brother who lives in Tallahassee, Norvell is safe.
I don't think Manny Diaz is, though. I think you might have an opening in South Florida at Miami. Add that to the list of jobs. You might have Florida and Miami open.
Yeah.
And Florida State not open with the bad record still.
Yeah, that Florida head coach.
Dan Mullen.
Yeah, odd duck. He was dancing in the locker room after giving up 52 to Samford.
Coach, you won, but come on. 570 yards of offense to Samford, not Stanford.
Right.
Samford.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of that guy right now. Okay.
But Justin Fuente is officially out at Virginia Tech.
Yeah. All this is interesting because it means probably, don't you just think that it means that there are going to be a lot of players in the portal?
Yes.
A lot to choose from. If you're Nebraska, I don't know. I don't know how to run a football program. I have these fleeting thoughts. And one of my fleeting thoughts is this, Jake. If you're like a Scott Frost and you're running a program and you hear these things like Steve Sarkisian telling the media that we could have 33 scholarship players going to portal, doesn't the light bulb click in your head? Hey, guys, whoever, I would have somebody in charge of the portal.
I think at this point you have
and
to,
I would
right?
pay him $150,000 a year because or more.
Monitor the portal. This is a very active thing here.
This guy has to know what you're looking for, know what fits your culture, know what fits your offense, know what fits your defense, have a keen awareness of your needs, and act on it. Okay. 33 guys coming out of Texas. Take a look at all those guys. 33 guys. That's a pretty big chunk of your day, I would think. Right?
Yeah.
Virginia Tech Justin Fuente just got fired. We better check that roster out too.
Poach.
Who's playing quarterback for them, and what grade is he in? Does he have a year left?
It's important stuff to know.
Yeah. Would he fit here? I mean, you're looking at all those places. Washington, you're looking at, right? You're looking at Washington after they fired Jimmy Lake.
Yep.
Not Lakes.
That's right. One single Lake. He's a singular.
So yeah, you're it affects a lot of things. And I mean, does Virginia Tech have a offensive coordinator that you might look at, right? Right?
Right. Yeah, of course.
All that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of movement right now.
Another place that's open that TCU is open too.
I forgot.
Don't forget TCU. Garrett Patterson resigned.
Yeah,
mid-season.
how could we forget TCU?
TCU is a Big 12 school. It's a big. Yeah, I think people forgot about TCU. Texas Tech has been filled, so that job is taken now.
A lot of movement.
But I'm looking at the different conferences in the standings where people are at, and you might have some surprise ones still. I think Texas keeps Sarkisian either they lose 7 straight games to end the year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I
mean, the reason we even raised that question is because Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports wrote a column about it and raised the possibility of Texas's big cigar influencers just deciding to throw a bunch of money at the problem like they do. But a good, interesting question, Jake, comes out of that. Where would Texas go? Jimbo Fisher? No.
No.
Dabo? No.
No.
Who are the other big names?
You had mentioned at one point like Ryan Day, but why would he go
No,
there?
he wouldn't go.
No, he would not.
Those are the big names. Lincoln Riley, no.
Nope.
You're not. Who you getting?
Could you convince Matt Campbell to go there?
What? Why? Okay, Matt Campbell, Jake.
I'm just listen. I'm on your side right now. I don't know if you're Texas. What do you do? You can't just keep firing guys after short spans here,
right? These guys that you spent the summer lavishing praise on, Fitz, Campbell. These guys had all the answers. Apparently, don't have all the
Matt
answers.
Campbell's still 6-4. He's not a bad. He's doing fine this year.
Oh, 6-4. Oh.
Yeah, would you kill for that right now to have a bowl game locked up?
I would not kill for 6-4. No, I would not.
That means you're going to a bowl game.
I'm not going to prison for 6-4. All right.
You've got some fans out here that might. They've gone 5 straight years without a bowl game now.
Yeah. No, these guys that you thought had all the answers don't have all the answers.
Well, Fitzgerald will bounce back next year. We all know that. And Matt Campbell, just got beat on a 62-yard field goal. Doesn't happen. It does not happen in college football.
Anyway, where do you go? I mean, I don't know where you go for those high profile jobs.
People are saying, okay, if you're Texas, maybe the answer is you try to convince Urban Meyer to leave Jacksonville.
Okay.
But that's a huge if. Is that the only guy though? You're going after one dude, and if he says no, what are you at now?
Well, Urban just had a little flare up in his world. But I think we move on pretty quick now.
We do. Well, he's won 2 games. He beat the Bills 2 weeks ago. Everything's forgotten now. Everything's forgotten when you win football games, right? And especially in the NFL. Yeah, everything. If you do something bad, hey, you upset this team. All right, let's go party and celebrate.
Okay, Urban.
I don't think he's leaving.
I don't think he'd go to Texas.
Well, if he were to leave,
Texas made a run at Saban. They tried to.
How long ago?
Well, before they hired Sark.
Oh,
yeah.
So recently. I'm curious if you're Urban Meyer, what's more attractive, USC or Texas? If you had to go to one of them.
Well, I'll answer that question.
Is it
USC?
No doubt.
Yeah, USC. Because why? Come on.
This is going to the SEC.
Think about what you got. You can rule the Pac-12 if you get Urban Meyer. Okay, if Urban Meyer goes to the Pac-12, who's winning it every year? Right?
USC.
Every single year.
Play that fight song every day.
You think Urban Meyer wants to go into that SEC mess again?
No.
With Texas, which isn't winning, which hasn't won in a while?
That's going to hurt them, isn't it? In terms of getting a great coach. I'm not going to the SEC.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if it'll hurt in terms of getting I think I'm going to contradict myself. I don't know if it'll hurt him getting a good coach, but they're not going to win a lot. 7-3, which got Herman fired, would look pretty good in the SEC, right? At Texas. That got Tom Herman fired.
Yep.
By the way, Tom Herman is a guy you got to watch in these things. Texas isn't going back to him, but
no, they sure are. No, they're not.
But Tom Herman, that's a name you keep in mind, right? For some of these jobs. And would Virginia Tech try Tom Herman?
Yeah,
I would think so. Would TCU try Tom Herman?
Does Texas try to get Dave Aranda?
Yeah,
from Baylor.
I think so.
That
Dave
might
Aranda's
go
hot
over pretty well.
Yeah,
with
Dave
Texas.
Aranda's hot. He's a hot name right now. Would just try this Tom Herman game again. Would TCU try him? I would think so. Would Florida try him?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
What?
I think TCU would, and I think that Virginia Tech would. Those are not as attractive a jobs as the other ones are, and Herman's not as attractive as a coach as some others might be in this.
But I need names. Who's attractive?
Well, James Franklin's going to leave.
Yeah, Franklin.
Probably.
Franklin. Look at Franklin's record this year.
They're 6-4.
Yeah, he's lost some steam, my friend. He's lost some steam.
I think he,
and is Harbaugh safe? Is Harbaugh safe now?
Yeah.
Is he
He's
safe?
9-1, right?
Well, yeah, but is he safe? Okay, that's two
What do you
different
mean
questions.
by safe on that?
What if they lose to Ohio State again?
He's not going to get fired.
What if they
He's
get
not?
What if they get
no-
crushed? What if they get
no
crushed
chance.
by Ohio State?
No chance.
He's safe.
He's safe.
For next
They'd
year.
be crazy to fire him.
He's safe right now. Is he safe till next year?
They would be absolutely insane to let him go after this rebound year from last year.
I think they look great. I
mean,
they look great.
they fired Don Brown, and it's
Right.
worked out for the defense.
Yeah, I think they look great.
Yeah, I think they would be insane to let him go. And if they do, then he'll be right on the top of everyone's list to go get.
Who's the coach of the Ravens?
John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim's brother.
Yeah.
What about him? He's not going to the college football.
They hired the Ravens defensive coordinator as their defensive coordinator. The Wolverines did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't say his name.
I can't
but,
either.
But he was the Ravens.
Okay,
defensive coordinator.
here's
And that
the-
defense is excellent.
Here's names people are saying that would be potential for all these different jobs. I'm not putting
right, that's
these.
fine. I wanna hear 'em.
Luke Fickell, of course, probably
Okay,
going to go
Fickell-
somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
Fickell's a hot
He's
name.
got some great names out there to go to.
He's got to go to a fit though. There's some places he just doesn't fit. Luke Fickell is not going to Texas. I'd stake my life on that. Doesn't fit.
Okay, what about Dave Clawson at Wake Forest?
Definitely a name. I don't know where that fit is. You better watch that defense. Wake Forest is. I mean, I don't know what you're getting.
There's people that believe that Lane Kiffin might go somewhere else than Ole Miss.
Okay, all right.
Did you buy that? Not to
Yeah.
USC again, right? Could you go to Texas?
I don't know.
But would he do that? I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. That's not a bad thought.
There's people that think that Mario Cristobal might leave Oregon to go
Okay,
somewhere.
Okay, yeah.
Texas or Florida.
Well, you wonder about Florida because he's a Miami guy.
Well, if Miami were to open,
yeah.
if Manny Diaz is fired,
yeah, you wonder
then
about
maybe he goes there.
Yeah, you definitely wonder about Miami because he's a Miami guy. He's from Miami. Okay.
People think that Lance Leipold might be on the move somewhere.
Yeah. Well, the more of these jobs open that open, I do wonder about that a little bit. I mean,
I think he might get some phone calls, even in his first year here.
So people understand. He got the Kansas job, but Jake, he was a finalist for Tennessee.
Yep.
A finalist for Vandy. A finalist. I think he was in that Illinois hunt too.
Yeah.
So yeah, his name's out there.
So, all right. Well, there'll be a lot of, again, if you just missed the news, Justin Fuente is out at Virginia Tech. Add him to the list of openings now. Add Va Tech to the list of openings for this upcoming offseason. We'll see if Fuente ends up anywhere else. He might be a head coach again somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can't rule out Fuente going somewhere like TCU, right?
No, I think he'd fit fine there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just maybe needs a change of scenery for
Maybe
him.
Fuente goes out west.
He
Right?
might go out west.
Yeah. I mean, would Washington look at a Justin
Washington
Fuente?
State, possibly.
Yeah,
that might be
hell
a good,
yeah, hell yeah.
good place to go get it back.
I mean,
again.
there's not I don't know. It's an interesting time because the biggest of the big names you're not getting. Ryan Day, Dabo, Jimbo. You're not getting them. Saban. Those guys are locked in, right?
Yep.
You're not getting Kirby Smart. I mean, those guys are locked in
No,
at their place.
Kirby's not going anywhere.
Right.
No.
I mean, you're not getting Kelly at Notre Dame, right?
Could you ever convince Mark Stoops to leave Kentucky? Like,
That's a good one. That's a good name.
That's a name I've always
No, it's
thought.
a real
Okay, he's
good
doing
name.
a great job
It's a
the
real
last few
good name,
years there.
Jake. That's a real good name.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
Kentucky is not a football
I don't
school.
see Stoops going to Texas though.
Man,
Although
I
people
gotta-
say, "Simple, you're crazy." What if they throw $9 million at him? He'd be crazy not to go,
Yeah,
right?
I don't think he can. I think Stoops has got to get out of Kentucky at some point.
Yeah.
He's too good for that program.
Okay.
It took him a while, but now he's.
You think Stoops is too good for that program?
Just,
What are they this year?
I mean, they're not amazing, but they've been consistently a ranked team. Where are they at? They're not ranked right now. I mean, they're 7-3.
That's pretty good.
They're 5-3.
No,
I mean,
I hear you. That's good.
They're behind Georgia in the standings, but they're second place behind Georgia.
No, you're good
in
there.
The SEC
You're
East.
good there. No, that's strong. That's strong.
Yeah, I mean Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky.
Yeah, I got to watch what I
Stoops
say.
forever. They can't keep Stoops forever.
Yeah, people would say, why wouldn't he go to Texas?
You have a ceiling at Kentucky for football.
Yeah.
You have an absolute ceiling there, and I think he might have hit it.
Okay.
I think it's time to move on. I think Mark Stoops. Hot take: Mark Stoops is on the move this offseason to a big job.
Hot take, Jake.
That's right.
All right. Get ready
Mark
for
it down.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
There'll be more hot takes tomorrow.
Yeah, if Nebraska beats Creighton, there'll be a lot of hot takes.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that with Robin Washington
All right.
next on Early Break in the Ticket.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels and Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels and Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're
definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and now I'm protecting it with the COVID vaccine. Everyone, even kids 5 years and older, can get the vaccine too. If you've been vaccinated, now you can get your booster shot if you qualify. Stay strong, get vaccinated, and learn more at healthylincoln.org.
Do you know the common signs of transmission trouble?
Your engine revs before falling into gear, shifting is rough, or you're leaking reddish-brown fluid.
Knowing the signs could mean repair instead of replace.
That's where we come in. We're certified transmission.
The job done right at the right price.
Lay the groundwork for more harvesting capacity when you order new John Deere combines and headers during Landmark Implement's early order program. Whether you're looking to improve your existing combine, corn head, or flex draper, or you've been wanting to update to a new model year, now is the time to upgrade. Get the very latest harvesting equipment and technology that fit your operations needs. Get your new John Deere harvest equipment built just the way you want. Contact your local Landmark Implement for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
We can make a run near record highs this afternoon. We'll top out at 74. South-southwest winds at 15 under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a cold front moving through. We'll see a low down to 42. And behind that front, only a high of 48 tomorrow with northwest winds gusting over 25. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
We're on the air. Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is officially Nebraska Creighton Day, much earlier than usual. This is usually a game in December, Sip, on a Saturday, but they're playing it early this year, the third game of the season. We are joined now by Husker Online's Robin Washut. Good morning, Robin. I saw this morning that Nebraska is a 3-point favorite tonight against Creighton at PBA. Are you surprised they're a favorite, or did you expect that for tonight against the Jays?
I wouldn't say overly surprised. I think that's basically just the home court advantage edge there, because really when you look at these teams, they're pretty even. Both have gone through their share of struggles at times, and both have kind of been up and down through the first two games, and so the Nebraska has the advantage of this one being in Pinnacle Bank Arena. I think you're starting to see that. I think the line has been, I think it opened at 2.5 and it swung down to 1.5 and went all the way back up to 4.5, and so it's kind of been jumping around a little bit over the last 12 hours or so. But I think the fact that Nebraska's favored in this one has almost everything to do with it being in Lincoln for the first time since 2018.
Robin Washut joins us from HuskerOnline.com. Rob, did Nebraska find something in the second half against Sam Houston State when it scored 47 points and pulled away from Sam Houston? I think we're calling him Sam Houston.
I mean, they kind of got back to what they had showed earlier a little bit with just the ball movement and being able to make layups, make shots. That's a big part of it. That first half against Sam Houston, they had plenty of good looks. They just missed them. Same thing against Western Illinois, where they were missing a lot of bunnies at the rim and not making their three-pointers. When that happens, as we've seen over the last 2 years now, this offense can find itself in a real problem. So I think the difference was that, one, they actually made some shots, but two, the ball movement was much better. Guys kind of settled down a little bit, and the flow got back to where it needs to be. So I don't know if I would say they found something. I think they probably just got back to doing what they were supposed to do and what they did so well in that Colorado exhibition, which I continue to point to as the real picture of what this offense can be when things are executed the way that they're supposed to be executed. So that's kind of the benchmark of how Nebraska wants to play every night, needs to play for them to be successful.
Robin Washut joins us. Rob, I just blanked out because I was writing something down that you're saying.
I'm sure it was important.
No, it wasn't. It was important. Go to Creighton. What's the scouting report? I know Alex O'Connell can play. He's off to a good start. The Duke transfer, 6'6", 185. It looks like they got a pretty good point guard named Ryan Nebhard, freshman. Are those the key cogs for Creighton?
Yeah, and they're a young team, that is kind of made up of freshmen that are getting thrown in the fire right away, like Nemhard, and then also, they hit the transfer market to bring in some instant impact players. So, they're not necessarily a overly young team. They do have a lot of freshmen playing big roles, but they're a very new team that is kind of trying to figure things out on the fly together. And Nebraska's gone through that, and they're still kind of going through it in a way. But they're 2-0, but they've had to kind of do some grinding to get there. They found themselves down in both of their last two games, and their 3-point shooting has been really, really bad. Like, Nebraska hasn't shot the ball well from 3-point range, but they're still shooting better than Creighton has. And I think that for a Greg McDermott team to shoot that poorly, that's kind of a real concern for them right now, because they rely so heavily on their perimeter shot. So that's something that is still very much a work in progress for them. To their credit, despite their offensive struggles, they've found ways to win. And Nebraska was able to do that once, but they didn't do it in their first game. So, it's going to be a deal about which team shows up and is willing to make the winning plays. I mean, obviously shooting is going to define tonight more than anything. Whichever team is actually able to make their three-pointers is probably going to have a significant leg up. But, Creighton, despite their shooting, has been able to make up for it by, playing good defense and rebounding. And that's been an issue for Nebraska in both of those last two games. So while they have struggled, Creighton does present some challenges for Nebraska's weaknesses. And as new of a team as they may be, and the fact that they're playing their very first true road game together in their third game of the season in what should be a very fired up Pinnacle Bank Arena, I don't think this is anything that is going to be easy for Nebraska. They're going to have to probably grind this thing out all the way until the final minutes, and that's why I think the spread is indicative of what it is.
So far, Robin, Alonzo Verge and Bryce McGowan have combined for 60% of Nebraska's shots this year on the season. Do they get more help tonight? How do you get more help? Is it an assist thing for those two, or is it just them, or is this guys not confident in putting up shots? How do you, explain why that has been the case through 2 games so far?
Well, Bryce is supposed to get that many shots, and he's scoring a lot of points at an efficient rate, shooting over 60%. Well over 60% from the field, and so that's what he's supposed to be doing. I think the bigger issue is Alonzo Verge has 36 shot attempts in 66 minutes of play. That's way too many for your point guard to be shooting. And he's a scorer. That's what he did at Arizona State. He's kind of got that mentality to him, but that's not his role on this team. They need him to be a scorer, be aggressive with the ball, but first and foremost, he needs to be a facilitator. And I think a lot of times he's passing up open looks to teammates and trying to force the issue. And the offense has suffered significantly as a result of it. So, his stat line has been really impressive. It's, 19.5 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists per game. But the volume of time that the ball is in his hands is not good. And you talk about the lack of flow Nebraska's had offensively, that's a big reason for it. So Fred Hoiberg has really tried to hammer that home over the last few days. He had a really good film session with Alonzo after that Sam Houston game to just kind of show him, exactly what they need from him. They know he can score. They want him to be aggressive, but they have so many weapons on that team that aren't getting involved enough. And that's directly his job as the point guard in this offense to make sure that all those other weapons are being included in what Nebraska is offensively.
Robin Washut joins us, and I want you to paint a picture for me. Bryce McGowan's, who we've talked about here, 17 for 21 from the free throw line this year, 81%. What does he do to get to the line? Is he getting to the basket like Palmer and drawing contact like James used to do? What's that? Paint the picture for me.
Yeah, that's been, even the Western Illinois game, that's how he got a lot of his points, was just him, the perimeter shot wasn't falling, and so rather than force the issue, he decided to just kind of take it to the rack and see what happens. That's something that he can do. The next element of his game is just being physical enough to finish better and not have to rely entirely on at the free throw line. But to his credit, despite kind of physicality being one of the supposed questions of his game, especially at the Big Ten level, he's done a good job of kind of answering the call there, and has been assertive, is taking the ball to the rack. And while he's not necessarily finishing probably as much as he would like, he's getting to the line and he's making his free throws, and that's why his point totals have been what they've been. When you are that productive at the free throw line, suddenly your numbers can look pretty good. And that James Palmer made a Nebraska career out of doing just that. So I do think that that's certainly something Bryce has been intentional with doing. He's capable of doing, and if he's able to not only just get fouled but finish through contact, the sky could really be the limit there.
Robin, if Nebraska wins tonight, how much does that erase the sting of that loss last Tuesday to Western Illinois, if any at all?
In the short term, certainly does, because then the rest of November, in theory, kind of like the Western Illinois game, they should win, and then you're going into December with one blemish, but a lot of momentum built up since that loss. So a win is really important. That Western Illinois game is still going to be an issue if Nebraska is in fact a bubble team, because that's going to be that bad loss that everybody points to. But if you go and beat Creighton, just for the morale, not only of your team, but of your fan base, to get people back on board and get some excitement going again, I think that could be a real turning point to get this season back on track to where it was going into game one. So, again, it will only do you so much good until the calendar turns to December and you have 5 straight high major opponents on the schedule. But I think between now and through the holiday, they could really do some serious, good for Nebraska's just mentality and confidence to build this thing back to where they expected it to be.
Rob, I wrote 4 bullet points down from this conversation. I'm writing tonight from the game. I had to listen hard to you. You did good. So look for ball movement tonight by Nebraska. That's critical. Creighton is not necessarily young, but their roster is new. Alonzo Verge has a scorer's mentality, but has to be more of a facilitator. And some of this is about building momentum to December. Did I hit that right?
Yeah, those are all really 4 intelligent points.
There you go.
Oh, good
Thank
stuff.
you. Thank you, Rob.
Robin, always good stuff. Thanks for the time, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, guys. See you tonight.
We will. Husker Online's
Yeah.
Robin Washington. I'll be there. You'll be there.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be great.
Yeah,
because we're going to be breaking
my
that game down.
voice. My voice is going to be in question tomorrow. I
Just
think.
try to take some of your emotion out of it and be a little bit analytical.
Well, I do both of that. I'm analytical and emotional. It's possible. It's possible.
I'll handle the analytics. When you're
Just my
waving
baby.
your shirt around over
No,
your head.
my shirt will be on the whole time. No, don't worry about that. Now, if I have a jacket, I might put that around and whip it. But this shirt will
And
be on.
hopefully there's no Creighton fans in vicinity.
No,
of
I
you.
hope that there are Creighton fans in the vicinity. That is inaccurate. I hope they are up there.
I don't want to look down from the media area and see somebody being carted off by 2 policemen.
I won't be the
And
one
then-
carted off.
and
I'm
you
not
have
beating anybody
Some
up, though.
blonde-haired guy with a red shirt on. Is that Jake?
I gotta check this out real quick. I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, do
I
not
will-
get carted away.
I'll behave myself, and I will try to keep my voice intact for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, well, you can have a raspy voice.
Plan on it.
Okay.
Gonna bring some tea tomorrow morning to soothe things.
All right,
there.
go. We got to go.
Let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. Sip is 1-0 on the week today. Top college basketball players of this season. What schools do these guys play for?
Really?
That's right. 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Don't be scared. We have a line open for you, 402-464-5685. Top college basketball players of this season. These are names you should know. They're well-known names. What schools do they play for?
Hey, while we're waiting here for callers, Chucky Hepburn starting for Wisconsin.
Yes, he is.
Already in the lineup. That's interesting. Hunter Salas did get minutes at Gonzaga.
Did not score against Texas. Played 2 minutes, I believe.
Okay.
In that
Oh, he
game.
just played 2 in the first half, and that's it.
That's it.
I know he played in the first
Just
half.
played 2 minutes in that game.
Okay.
But they did beat Texas. Drew Timme had like 36 points, something like that.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd name Drew Timme.
Drew Timme.
Apparently you won't.
No, I was making sure I did. No, Drew Timme. Drew Timme
I
is
was
not
hoping you'd
on,
name him.
on the names here.
I was hoping you'd name him.
No, don't keep naming names. So keep that for the show.
Okay.
Okay, we've got Jesse. Jesse, how do you feel about top college basketball players this year?
Not very good, but nobody's calling. So.
Well, we appreciate you, Jesse.
Yeah,
thanks
Jesse,
for
thanks for-
taking one for the team.
Yeah,
here.
good job. Thank you.
All right, Jesse, first question goes to you. What school does guard Johnny Juzang play for?
UCLA.
Yeah. Good job.
UCLA. See, you did,
Yeah.
Jesse, you got this. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
1-0
I
lead.
would have had that, by the
No
way.
hesitation there. Okay, Sip, for the tie, your first question. What school does guard Colin Gillespie play for?
Villanova.
Villanova is correct.
Yeah,
1-1
how about
tie.
that? How about that?
Nice work, Jesse, to take the lead. Your last question. What school does E.J. Liddell play for?
Oh, you got that. Got that.
That'd be Ohio State.
Yeah, you got that. Good job,
Jesse didn't
Jesse.
feel good. He's got these 2
Good
questions
job,
with
Jesse.
these so far.
Well, he's just one of the best players in the Big
Well, I
Ten.
said it's called top college basketball players. That is literally the topic's name here. So
Okay.
yes.
All right.
All right, Sip, for the tie. You can't miss this one. I'd be shocked. What school does Jaden Ivey play for?
Oh man, I watched him the other night. I'll tell you something now. Purdue is a force. They're a legit top
is
team.
that the
Purdue,
answer?
yeah. Purdue.
All right, this goes to Sip. You'll go over under his number here, Jesse. Sip, here we go. Colin Gillespie was the Big East Player of the Year last year. How many points per game did he average? To the first decimal, please.
Gillespie, 17.6.
Okay, over, under, 17.6, Jesse.
Let's go over.
Believe it or not, just 14 points a game, 14.0 points per game. So Jesse will get you a bagel and a coffee. Thank you for calling in and call in down the road.
Absolutely. Good show, fellas.
Thank you,
Jesse. Hey, Jake, what's my record this week?
2-0 this week.
Yep, 27-23 since the reset. That's 4 games over. I'm building a little bit of a buffer.
I feel like Happer's Bagel Boy shirt has really locked you in even more than you already were.
Yeah.
You don't want to wear that thing.
No. That was good today. Thank you. Those are good.
Yes.
I'm
Thank
glad
God.
you gave Jesse the easy ones.
Jaden Ivey was pretty easy. You mentioned his name yesterday. I didn't know that. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. I watched Purdue, and I'll give you a quick scouting report. Ivy has to be one of the best guards in America. That's what he looks like to me. I mean, one of the top 5 guards in America, top 4 guards in America. Travion Williams has raised his game.
He's been there for a long time.
Yeah, he's raised it. He's really playing well, active, really active. They're good.
I'm telling you, for some reason, Purdue, though, is a team Nebraska has played well against.
Yeah.
They just have.
That's true.
They've beaten them. They played well against them. Yep. So I should be scared of them, but I don't sit here today scared of Purdue.
They
do rebound well, too.
Zach Edey played well the other night.
We'll wrap things up with a spillover with Connor Happer and Mike Schaefer next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Lay the groundwork for more harvesting capacity when you order new John Deere combines and headers during Landmark Implement's early order program. Whether you're looking to improve your existing combine, corn head, or flex draper, or you've been wanting to update to a new model year, now is the time to upgrade. Get the very latest harvesting equipment and technology that fit your operations needs. Get your new John Deere harvest equipment built just the way you want. Contact your local Landmark Implement for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Lincoln's Mega Liquidation Store is here. Wholesale Logistics is now open on West O Street as a bin store with tons of liquidation pallets, appliances, mattresses, furniture, and more. Brand new mattresses 30 to 60% off retail with well-known brands. New furniture also 30 to 60% off retail value. Brand new LG scratch and dent appliances 35 to 40% off retail. Wholesale Logistics purchases truckloads of smaller items from major retailers and throws them into bins, with everything starting at just $8. Get to Wholesale Logistics, open each Friday to Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at 2811 West O Street.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
We can make a run near record highs this afternoon. We'll top out at 74. South-southwest winds at 15 under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a cold front moving through. We'll see a low down to 42. And behind that front, only a high of 48 tomorrow, with northwest winds gusting over 25. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Coppell Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Coppell, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Coppell Chevrolet GMC.
The worst of times can bring out the best in each of us. Doctors, nurses, and frontline workers have labored selflessly to keep us safe during the health crisis of our lifetime. How do we thank these heroes? It's simple. Get your COVID vaccine so we can end this pandemic. Variants are on the rise, and we don't want to put these heroes through another health crisis. They have given their all. Now it's up to you. Please do your part. For you, for them, for us.
This message sponsored by the Helmsley Charitable Trust, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
HTP, join 93.7 The Ticket on Friday at Wingstop, 29th and Pine Lake. Try all the delicious wings options as we preview Saturday's Wisconsin game and Friday night's basketball game. That's all this Friday from 3 to 6 at South Lincoln's Wingstop location, 29th and Pine Lake.
Do you know the common signs of transmission trouble?
Your engine revs before falling into gear. Shifting is rough, or you're leaking reddish-brown fluid.
Knowing the signs could mean repair instead of replace.
That's where we come in. We're Certified Transmission.
The job done right at the right price.
Guys, we need to talk about a problem plaguing our society today: chronic fruitcake slander. Now, maybe you're thinking, I've had fruitcake. It's dry and heavy. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're eating the wrong fruitcake, because Grandma's Fruitcake is anything but. Their recipe uses the highest quality fruits, hand-sorted nuts, and adds the perfect amount of brandy, bourbon, and rum. Their desserts are known and loved across the country, and they're made right here in Southeast Nebraska. If you haven't tried them yet, you're missing out. Grandma's Fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
One-on-one with DP.
Let's bring in Husker Baseball's Camp Chick. You guys battled, but you guys had fun.
Yeah, I think it's just because we loved each other. Last year and my freshman year are the two closest teams I've ever been a part of in my entire life. We would spin until almost midnight curfews on the weekends playing two-ball in the hotel conference.
And most
people don't even know that. Curfew would be at 11:30 or 12 if it was a later game, and we'd all be in there sweating.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay. Brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with Connor Happer and Mike Schaefer. I just saw. I'm not holding on for anything.
Hold on.
The radio does not stop.
Hold on.
I just saw a text that I want to address because we've talked about Sipple wears the Bagel Boy shirt. If he goes 0-5,
yes, he will.
He's 2-0.
2-0.
We have a texture, Happer. This is to you from Matt in South Lincoln.
Okay.
Says if Sip goes 5-0 in the week, maybe Happer has to wear the
There you
Bagel
go.
Boy shirt.
What makes me a Bagel Boy?
Can you pull that Bagel Boy shirt on?
Actually, that's probably too small for me.
Well, that'd be even better.
What?
Let's see some belly.
How would that make sense?
What do you mean?
How would-
Well, you were the one who bought the Bagel Boy
Yeah,
shirt.
you're the one who's pushing this whole thing.
But you're the one giving away bagels.
Maybe there should be some consequences for you.
That's fine, but it's not. I don't give away bagels on a daily basis.
You're not giving them away.
We can find you a shirt that you would like to wear if you go 5-0, but no
Yeah,
one else here
you
has
can wear
anything
See,
really
no,
to
this is
do with
Happer's big idea.
That's fine. We
You just put that Bagel Boy shirt on.
if you go 5-0,
If I hit a 5-0, you're wearing it.
it's not the Bagel Boy shirt, but I will do something.
What are you gonna wear? A shirt.
Because the Bagel Boy shirt doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't have
at
anything
that
to do
point.
with Happer, though. He's
Also-
not the bagel.
Also, I don't have any control over this. I would like it if I had some control. If I was going to be punished.
You entered the equation. You tried to take control by entering the equation with your big idea. So there is some. Don't act like you're not culpable. You can't create this scenario and then back out of it.
I'm not out. I'm not backing out.
Oh yeah, you're saying you're giving away bagels.
You're giving away bagels. That's you, Bagel Boy.
Bagel Boy.
2-0 this week.
Yeah, no
2-0.
bagels given away.
I'll
this
help
week.
you get to 4-0.
Maybe there's a happy shirt that says "Coffee Boy" or something like that. You're giving away
for you?
for you when you win.
Well,
when you go
yeah, the
5-0.
thing is, Happer has nothing to do with like how you perform.
You see why
That's the problem.
making me wear a Bagel Boy shirt doesn't make any sense?
I'm not really, because you created this whole thing, and you created it with no consequences for you.
I guess I don't see it as much of a detriment as you do.
Oh God.
He says not like
Are
the
you?
Bagel
Are
Boy
you? Are
shirt.
you? Do you listen to what you say?
You
sometimes?
hate the Bagel Boy shirt.
It's
I want you to-
disparaging. If people are driving down the road and shouting "Bagel Boy,"
Has that happened yet?
no.
Okay.
It's coming. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
Jay,
as
just-
early as Iowa
let's
Friday.
change the subject to Creighton, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, Happer seems pretty confident that Creighton is going to lose tonight, which I'm happy he feels that way because
It's an
I love
interesting
Nebraska.
way to phrase that, by the
I'm
way.
like,
It's a Nebraska Cornhuskers centric radio station, and you went with Happer feels confident that Creighton is going to lose.
Well, that's the point, right? It's not that Nebraska wins; it's that Creighton loses.
Yeah,
I'm just pointing out, like, it's an interesting way.
Can you tell us why you feel this way? Because I just feel weird about tonight.
Oh, I mean, I think you once again overshot it. I don't know that I'm confident. I feel like
once again,
typical.
I feel like
slid that gig.
That's fine. I'll accept. I'll wear it. What's going on?
Oh, sorry,
that's okay.
Music going on in here.
Jake don't like that when that happens.
I feel like it's more likely that Nebraska wins than Creighton wins, but that's about it.
Okay. All right.
I also think Nebraska is the more likely team to hit you kind of with the avalanche, with the 3-point barrage. I just think they have more options in that regard.
Good scouting report
at this point. Creighton, it comes down to kind of like 2 or 3 guys basically from each side, and we don't really they haven't played against each other.
So can O'Connell beat Nebraska?
O'Connell is a good player.
Nemhard.
The guy that I would watch for tonight that hasn't got going yet is the transfer from Northwest Missouri State, Ryan Hawkins.
Okay.
He's like one of the best. He was one of the best 3-point shooters of all time at that level.
Ryan Hawkins.
Yeah, and so I think I'm looking at his.
Is he Creighton's Trevor Lakes?
Yeah, but more like he plays.
I'm just saying. I mean, I heard Trevor Lakes could hit threes from all over the world. So
yeah,
right. But
just
Trevor Lakes doesn't play, right?
Right. No, I'm saying
Ryan Hawkins is in the lineup. He's only won 12 on threes this year. The question is, which team jumps out of that slump?
Can Nebraska? What's the rebounding situation? I mean, Creighton's out rebounding teams 46-36. They're hitting the glass. How hard do they hit the offensive glass?
Yeah, I mean, Kalkbrenner is the big guy, and
he's good. I like Kalkbrenner.
I think Nebraska has a little bit of an answer. If Nebraska plays as hard on the boards as they did against Sam Houston, it'll be a wash.
Okay,
it'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm not worried about Creighton physically dominating you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Most likely scenario to start this game is both teams taking a long time to get going.
Yeah,
right?
pretty
ugly by the.
I hope somebody comes out.
Under 8.
Isn't it a Creighton Nebraska tradition that somebody comes out on like a 12-2 run or something like that,
or a 29-2 run?
It's typically Creighton.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah,
and Nebraska
or
got out to
31-4 run.
Nebraska got out pretty hot. Last time it was at PBA.
Yeah,
right?
but that was a rarity. It doesn't happen that often. It's more often Creighton that gets this hot start.
Yeah, sure.
Nebraska.
But you get some juice in the building. Maybe I don't know. It just kind of depends on which team jumps out of the old slump tonight. I think they're both kind of not shooting it as well as they could. And
Creighton's hitting 18.4% of their threes.
Yeah,
Nebraska's hitting 21.2.
Yeah,
we have seen some games in this rivalry that have been like 50-48. Now, as when Doc was coaching, so it was more of a defensive approach then.
Sure.
Creighton has won by scoring 51 points against Kennesaw State. What you expect this game in the 60s, 50s, 70s? What seems like the right
low 70s, maybe
70s? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a total rock fight, even though these teams have played rock fights
except for the start.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
it does. I agree. The 70s, it feels like a 72, 67, 75, 70, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah,
we're all going.
Yeah.
Sipple's going.
Oh yeah, I gotta go.
Wow, he committed.
Whoa!
I gotta go.
This is news today.
Are you gonna write about it?
Yeah.
Wow,
I gotta go. It's a mandate.
A mandate.
It's been mandated from the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm ready. I got.
Do they have a spot for you over there?
Yeah.
They do.
Eternal
no,
spot.
it's always there.
It's
yeah.
always there. Okay, yeah, they know.
Yeah, I
It shows
gotta
up
get
a couple
there.
times.
I gotta get easy.
Well, just saying, it's true.
Not a couple.
What? How many
Like
times
5?
you get to a basketball?
7.
A handful.
Yeah.
A
I
handful.
don't want to be over there too much
Why is that?
because I cover football mostly.
Yeah, but you are the columnist.
The football season, especially in the last 5 years, sort of ends around November 28th.
Well, when does the basketball season start? I mean,
I think it starts today.
December 1.
It starts
It's a
today.
great game today, man.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't really even started in the last few years. So. Am I wrong?
Wow, okay,
Am
wow,
I
all
wrong?
right, that
Am
was-
I wrong?
Shots
I
fired.
just feel like you got a shovel.
Okay,
out. You're just digging yourself a little.
I'm not.
deeper.
I'm not.
Let me
digging
bounce
anything.
this off you, Sipple.
What?
I think this is Fred Hoiberg's biggest game in Nebraska.
Whoa!
So
a
far.
little early for that.
So far.
Oh, so far.
Yeah.
One of them has to be the biggest game so far.
Yeah. What are other contenders for that?
I don't know if there even is
really,
one.
Maybe like game 4 in the 6th day of the COVID restart.
Maybe.
It's so absurd.
Creighton's not very good, but go ahead.
Yeah.
But you got fans in the building. It's a home game. It'll be the first big charged up environment at home since Fred's been here.
Yeah,
it's a
good.
rivalry game against Creighton. You need to get off the
the
mat kind of after losing that first game.
Okay.
You have no more losses to give in the month of November.
Not in the month of November. You're right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a pretty good sell. Thank you. Interesting.
Okay.
You're agreeing?
I think it'll be charged up tonight, won't it?
I wonder. I hope. That's one of the great things about this game always, but it's 6:00 on a Tuesday. I don't know how that plays into it.
A late arriving crowd tonight.
Yeah,
good weather though.
Yeah, that's true.
That helps.
That helps a lot.
People be out early. Which is nice. I'm not sure. I hope
you need some performances. You need to like we were talking about yesterday. I mean, I just feel like I know so few players over there with Creighton where it's just like some of it was there's the same guys you see 3 straight years.
Yep. Yeah.
Or it's a newcomer like Denzel Mahoney, and he just inserts himself in it right away, that kind of thing. So
it's tough to really buy in.
Yeah,
because the players are unfamiliar with it.
All right. I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it, actually. How's the buffet been? Has it been good?
Yeah, it's been good.
Has it been good?
Yeah, it's been good.
It's typically really good at PBA.
Yeah, they have good.
Jake, you're not part of this.
They have good
discussion.
meals before the games.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't know what it'll be tonight. I'll talk to a couple people, make a couple calls
food tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
The most important thing is the food tonight for Sip.
Helps you right.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hot round! Red 7, red 7, red 7! Hot round! Down! Set! Hut!
Justin Fuente is out at Virginia Tech. How attractive is that job?
Attractive. You ever been to that stadium?
On what
Moderately
scale?
attractive.
On the scale of what?
It's Blacksburg, Virginia.
It's got tradition. It's got a great stadium.
It's attractive in the sense that it's probably an upper mid-tier ACC job.
Yeah.
Which is to say it'd be below Miami, Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina.
God, you could get Virginia Tech going, I would think. You could get that humming and cooking. Yeah. It's a program that could establish itself as a threat to win the ACC every year.
Could I tell you that Virginia Tech is no more than the Kansas State version?
Beamer.
I think I got a little more.
Beamer,
and only Beamer.
That's what I view it as, yeah. Very similar to that.
Okay. I think I just got to get another Beamer in there.
Yeah.
You just got to get another Osborne. You just got to get another Snyder.
Very simple.
You just need another Bobby Bowden. It happens all the time.
Find the best special teams coach of all time.
That's right.
You can do it. You can find guys, coach.
Many schools are still trying to find that.
Isn't that crazy that they're basically known for special teams as a school?
And defense.
It's ridiculous.
Beamer ball.
That's their whole thing. I don't know. Weird.
Interesting. I think they could get it going there.
Happer and Schaefer's next for Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.